it's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm here in San Diego, California for a little bit of an e-revolution because this is what it's all about. This is the all-new 2022 Toyota bZ4x. But before we get into this first of a full electrified crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Toyota. They've been doing the business for so many decades when it comes to reliable, dependable transportation. On top of that, they've had their hand in performance cars as well with that mighty nameplate, the Toyota Supra, even in the process and in the past of doing World Rally Championship racing as well. Well, guess what? Toyota has decided this is the moment with model year 2022 to bring their first BEV, battery electric vehicle. And the whole name of the game with this bZ4x, the BZ stands for Beyond Zero, because they're knowing that we need to save the environment, we need to work towards those zero carbon that's going into the air. And with this BEV, this is their stake that they're claiming for that movement into the future. Now, when it comes to electrification, Toyota is taking a different step process, not so much just focusing on full electric vehicles, but also continuing the hard work that they've done with hybrid technology, plug-in hybrid technology, and also fuel cell technology. Believe it or not, Toyota's been in the business for 2 decades with that Toyota Prius being that electrified component with the hybrid technology that really has revolutionized the auto industry. And now Toyota is ready for the next step. But what I want to find out is this going to be that BEV crossover SUV to get? Is it going to be worth the price? And is it worth the wait for this bZ4x? Let's go ahead. We got a limited trim. Let's dive in and find out just how good this EV really is. Let's dive in. Right off the bat, we brought to you from the headquarters, the HQ Confidential, the actual concept vehicle of the bZ4x. And I'm very happy to report many of the concept touches are on this street-going production vehicle. Now, at the front of the business, you're going to get full LED lighting, LED daytime running lamps, and obviously turn signals as well. I really love the way they have worked the aero. Remember, part of any electrified vehicle trying to maximize range is to cheat the air, and they do that with such great aerodynamic efficiency. You can see how we have this metallic gray that kind of folds down, has that functional side air curtain, and the way that it drips right into that lower splitter. You know, a lot of times we talk about splitters, we talk about downforce, and we're talking about racetracks. With this whole setup, it's not just about performance in a straight line, but it's also about getting, like I said, that maximum range and directing the airflow where you want to go. Now, besides the metallic gray, you do have some flat black, and I think it balances well, especially with our pearlescent white. As we come across the front end of the business, we're talking about a design philosophy that's known as the hammerhead shark. And you could see where that design is coming from. And what I like about it is that it ties in very nicely with the RAV4, with the new Venza into this bZ4x. Some gloss black up top reminds me of the Toyota Corolla sedan and hatchback. We got a forward-facing camera, a little bit of aluminum style trim up top, and then as we drop down, you do have functionality in the venting. If you're wondering, well, why do we have actual venting in the bottom portion? This does have a liquid cooled lithium ion battery pack, which we'll get to in a few moments. Now, they brought more of that aluminum style finish to that lower lip, really gives it a nice touch, and this is part of that limited trim, which is going to be the top trim. LE, XLE, and Limited are going to be your 3 trims. Plus, it's sitting on, remember, that new global architecture, the ETNGA, that is going to be for that movement with their electric vehicles, their BEVs that they're calling them. Now, when we get up onto the hood, you can see how low slung it is for that aerodynamic efficiency. They even took the Toyota badge in that nice silver finish and brought it down, sunk it down perfectly into the nose, and then body lines are super clean. Everything flows up and goes right towards the A-pillars, and I'm really liking this gloss black area because it gives the hood a lot of definition instead of just being white. Really gives it a tie-in to what's going on the corners as well. Now, when we come around the bend, What are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. You're gonna get these 20-inch wheels on our particular limited trim, gloss black, machined aluminum, like the style, super clean, very familiar to Toyota fans with these clean designs. And what we're looking at when it comes to the wheel and tires, you're gonna get 235 on the width, meaty 50 series sidewall, and you'll notice that beautiful metallic gray finish. Look at the way the fender flare flows into the charge port door so that you got your color match, you got your fender flare. This is gonna open up, and that's where your charging is going to take place. Now, where's the battery located? Battery is gonna be located in the lower portion of the floor. That's gonna give us a nice flat floor, and you could get your particular bZ4X two ways when it comes to power. You could go single electric motor, which is gonna be front wheel drive, or you could go dual motor, which is gonna give you that all wheel drive. Plus there's some technology there called X mode that will really allow you to take advantage of the power going to all four corners. Now, as we slide down the rest of the bZ4X, you got some gloss black on the mirror caps, looking good because of the gloss black on the hood, ties it all in. We have some shiny chrome bits up top, very, very low roof rails. Of course, you'll be able to get those crossbars, and you also have a nice size panoramic sunroof on this limited trim. You can see the body lines, especially how it waterfalls and then just flattens out all the way down the side of the vehicle and disappears. Some flat black on that lower sill gives a lot of element of depth, and I'm really digging that. And like I said, tying this in with the RAV4, that's about the basic size of this vehicle, is close to a RAV4. Now, working our way back, look at the way the trim stops, and that brings us into this beautiful body line. That pearlescent white is like a white diamond in this California sun. Decent size on the quarter window, and then look where the body line comes out and flows nicely into the rear fender. Really digging how they did the fender flare look on here, especially with that metallic gray. And then when we get to the back, this is where the wind tunnel testing really shows. You could see a very unique design with that super low roof spoiler, especially the way it dips down in the center. You got a color match shark fin antenna, no wiper what to speak of. And then look at how they added this extra spoiler to the rear hatch, give us that great airflow off of the rear glass. And then you're gonna have LED lighting, kind of folds down into the fenders. And then as we slide across, you're gonna get your bZ4X, your limited badge. And then of course, as we drop it like it's hot, this being an electric vehicle, there are no exhaust outlets, and a very, very cool looking lower bumper to kind of simulate something you would see on a Formula One race car or a Le Mans prototype car, the way that this lower bumper area comes down. But why don't we go ahead, we talked about the outside, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our bZ4X. All right guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not gonna zonk it because not many people are gonna be popping the hood on their bZ4X, but there it is in all of its glory. Now what I am gonna zonk is that there's no storage underneath the hood like maybe you would find on a Tesla or a Ford Mach-e. But what are we actually talking about when it comes to power? So like I said, you got two different ways you could go. Single motor is gonna be front wheel drive. That's gonna give you a range of around 250 miles. They're guesstimating around 201 horsepower from that single motor. All wheel drive, you're gonna have the dual motor setup. You're looking at 215 horsepower, and we're still waiting on official range numbers for the all-wheel drive. The front-wheel drive is supposed to produce a range of around 250 miles from that lithium-ion battery. And the great news is that Toyota is saying that after 9 years of use, that you will still get 90% battery charge out of that lithium-ion battery, which is great news. 0 to 60 in this front-wheel drive setup, you're probably estimating around 7.7 seconds. We're gonna have to wait for the official drive event to give you all those specific details. Let me know what you think about going the one motor, going the two motor, but let's go ahead, let's dive into the interior and see what the bZ4X brings for the future. All right guys, here we are in this high-tech emotional design of a 2022 Toyota bZ4X limited trim. Let me preface and tell you that this is a pre-production. So with that being a pre-production, some of the finishes may not be 100% in the situation of what it's gonna look like when it gets to the dealership. But from what Toyota's saying, these are pretty close. Now, I know you're saying, well, Joe, I've been looking at EVs. Of course, I looked at Tesla. Of course, I looked at the Mach-e. I'm just like you, Joe. I'm not calling it a Mustang Mach-e. I'll call it a Ford Mach-e. I've even looked forward to the Nissan Ariya. But there's something about this bZ4x that I like. How much is it? Well, no official pricing is revealed yet. But what many experts are predicting is that the entry-level trim, that LE, will probably be right around $37,000. This limited trim will probably be around $42,000. Still a lot of question marks on front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, but let's see what you're getting in this limited. To the door panels, nice soft touch material. Even on the armrest, there is a bit of gloss black, but you know what? It's not too crazy, and if you have your Toyota microfiber cloth, you could wipe all the fingerprints off. Does look classy though, especially with that silver trim on the edge. Door pocket is a little tight, so maybe just 2 Nature Valley granola bars or just 1 avocado and a bottle of kombucha to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, to kind of keep in that EV, BEV kind of feel, you have this cloth, which is actually something you don't see very often. Really kind of breaks up all the different materials in here. You do also have the JBL optional sound system, but here's the biggest news. Besides the space behind the infotainment system, it is the infotainment system. Nice large horizontal display, 12.3 inches. This is that new technology that we brought to you in the Lexus NX. So it'll get updates over the Wi-Fi system, so it's never gonna get outdated. You got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation. Here we are in California. I could go into the different settings. You could go into charging schedule, set that charging schedule for yourself. You could go into the settings, have different users with your own profiles. So it'll save everything from seat savings to presets, the whole 9 yards, and then you go right back to navigation. Now, going into reverse, showing off the backup camera, nice resolution, super clarity, especially with the 360-degree camera. And then I'm gonna go ahead and push it right back into park, and we're right back where we started. Limited trim, we got heated seats, heated steering wheel, and ventilated seats. So thank you, Toyota, for bringing that. I like the toggle switches. Really, really easy to use, dual climate control. You got your power on button, conveniently placed, and then look what they did for the actual selecting of what direction you're going in. This has a direct drive transmission, and you got this rotary controller here to go into drive. You push it down to go into neutral, you push and then turn to go into reverse, and then right back into park. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We got eco mode, snow mode, and you could bring up those different camera angles, the 360. Here we are in the parking lot in San Diego, looking really good. The door's open, so obviously that's the mystery area. Lori's standing right there. I'm sure many of you would like to see her pop up on the screen there, but nice clear image. We got 1 pedal action. Of course, we got regen braking. You got that 1 pedal action like you're finding in a lot of EVs. And then you got the bridge system. Some gloss black up here. I think many people are gonna do this because that's where your wireless charging is. Very convenient. Close it up. And then down below, you got a place for a purse, a purse, a sack, a satchel. We got a USB-C on both sides and a 12-volt and a place to keep a picture of your pet. You got a dog, you got a cat, keep that picture right there. You can look at them and remember how much you love them, even when maybe they don't love you as much because you're not giving them their favorite food or you're not spending as much time with them. But we're spending plenty of time with you here on Raiti's Rides. 2 cup holders, kind of sunken in. Not gonna get the Yeti cans in there, but still plenty of room for 2 bottles of Surge. And then here is your EV key fob for the bZ4x. You could turn on that AC remotely, which is really nice. It's got a nice weight to it. I'm liking it. If you're wondering, R2 does not stand for R2D2. This is just number 2 out of the 3 bZ4Xs that they have. We got a Twinkie tray, double stack it, double stuff it. You don't have to worry about busting cream. And then check it out. We could go like that, and you got more armrest. Or if you want less armrest, you could go like that. More, less, more, less. What do we got more of? More storage. Easily put a couple shells from the beach in there. Not a conch shell, but maybe some smaller oyster style shells. Close it up, and then we got the soft-tex material. It's not leather, it's soft-tex. It's like pleather, but it feels soft. It's got the stitch work, nice bolstering, manual adjustments for the passenger. Me as the captain, I got full electric assist. And then of course, we also have that split panoramic sunroof style. So we got a sunroof up here. I'll show you the one in the back seat very, very soon. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of headroom. Get your butt over here. I want to show you behind this killer dash and steering wheel setup in this all-new bZ4X. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your seat controls, easy to get to. That lower lumbar is going to make your chiropractor very happy. It makes me very happy because it feels good. And then a very, very interesting take on the steering wheel and dash setup. So you're going to get leather wrap steering wheel in the limited trim. Look at the horn buttons, something unique, something different. Lots of flat black buttons, good thickness. It is a tilting and telescoping steering wheel, which is great. But look at the dash. You have this digital display where you could go through a cornucopia of different readouts. Plus you got your charging, plus you got your digital speedometer. Very, very unique setup up there. And I like that better than a lot of the competition because it's great to see actual gauges in front of you instead of everything over here. But the way things are laid out, it feels like a Toyota, which is what people want. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the back seat and see if this bZ4X has what your passengers want when they're going down the road. All right, guys, back seat time, and it's unbelievable the amount of room that you have in here. Like I said, I haven't grown any, but I haven't shrunk any either. I'm 6 feet tall, even with that panoramic sunroof, and we got the glass open back here. Plenty of headroom. Let's talk about the backs of the seats. Nice soft-tex material, large pockets, so you could easily get a couple slices of avocado toast back here, slide them in, and then you're gonna get a nice little command center. USB-Cs and heated seats, no ventilated seats. Quite curious what this could have been or will be in the future. A lot of dead space here. AC vents mounted down below. I got my own pocket over here for some nice California pizza. Couple slices I'm gonna put in there because I'm starving to death, but I'm feeling really good back here. Armrest, of course, nice and soft, 2 cup holders, and you got the ability to put, I would say about 7 of those gas station size Slim Jims in there for the long trip. Because remember, you're not gonna be stopping at the gas station because this doesn't use fuel. You'll be stopping to charge, but that's gonna keep you going. You'll notice the nice flat floor in here. That's what really opens up the space and makes it livable, makes it breathable. But why don't we go ahead, let's see if this has the versatility like a RAV4. Let's check out the cargo area in our bZ4X. All right, guys, time to get in the cargo area just like your RAV4, just like your Venza. Hit that button, nice electric assist, and what's wonderful is you're gonna get that great versatility, great usability. Love the way the cargo floor is nice and low. We got the subwoofer from the JBL optional sound system in our limited trim. And that really is going to maximize the ability because you have a lot of width and you have a lot of height. If you're going to go do that Costco run and you need extra room, very simple. You're just going to lift up and push on both sides. That allows those seats to fold down pretty flat. Not totally flat, but flat enough to where you're going to get that ultra big bag of Lay's potato chips. And if you're hoarding some toilet paper because you're worried about the toilet paper situation, you'll be able to get that in there as well. Another little nice little nook is that you lift this up, and this is where you're gonna find your charging cord, all ready to rock and roll for at your house. Plus you could put some Twinkies down here. So don't think you can't have Twinkies and electrification. Easily put a baker's dozen down there. But why don't we go ahead? I know you wanna go for a spin. I'm dying to get behind the wheel. The day will come, I promise you this, but this is the official media unveil. We will let you know when we're gonna be getting behind the wheel and going on throttle in this BEV. But until that day, let's wrap it up from California. All right, guys, it's been an amazing time here in California with the whole Toyota team and definitely this 2022 Toyota bZ4X. Let me know what you think. Toyota is making that movement, that direction towards electrification. Like I said, this is not something new because they have had hybrids for over 20 years, plus other technologies like that fuel cell technology in the Mirai. But is this the one to get? Is this the BEV to get? Is it worth the price? Put it in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raiti's Rise merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera out here working it like a champ. Thank Lori in the comment section for all that she does. Thank you, Lori, for being the rock, the muscle behind the lens. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.